What's up, guys? Another Sunday morning here at the house. Got a little project to do on the E46 wagon today. These were brakes. They've been grinding for a while. Quite a while, actually probably about 2 weeks now. Life got in the way. It's been the holidays and dealing with baby and stuff like that. Just wasn't able to get to it, but we're going to get it done today. I'm going to kind of walk you guys through. It's really easy to do. Not a whole lot of tools needed, probably about three different sockets and a couple ratchets and stuff like that, and you should be able to get everything taken care of. So let's get to it. Alright, so got the wheel off. It's pretty easy. It's a 17mm socket. Take the wheels off. I'm sure most of you probably taken the wheels off your car before, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. To do the brakes, you are going to take the caliper bolts off first, 7mm Allen for both of these. And then after you get the 7mm Allen off, right here, yep, is a 16mm bolt to take the caliper bracket off. And then after you get the caliper bracket off, 6mm Allen here holding the brake rotor on. Brake rotor is probably gonna be stuck on, so you're gonna have to hit it with a hammer in order to knock it off of there. That's what the hammer is for. So let's get this stuff taken apart. I just wanted to show you guys. I actually don't have Allens here at home. I have them all at work. Just in case you're in a pinch, a T47 torque socket fits in these Allens and bites in there. If they're not on there tight, it'll work. If they're too tight, then you run the risk of stripping it out. So if you feel like it's not going to break loose with something like a short ratchet, don't waste your time. We're just going to strip the screw out. Alright, so now we're going to push this caliper piston back in. This is where you use your C-clamp to get everything pushed back together. Pretty straightforward. Just screw your C-clamp in. They make special tools for this, but C-clamps work. C-clamps are a couple bucks at a hardware store, and they do a really good job pushing caliper pistons back in. Make sure you put the pad in here. You don't want to push right on the piston, because if you're pushing on the piston, you're only pushing on a small spot of the piston, and you run the risk of breaking the piston. This car's got metal pistons, and some cars have plastic pistons, so if you're ever dealing with that, you can definitely break the piston by pushing on it crooked. And that would be our caliper push back in. As you can see, pads are pretty well used. Alright, caliper piston pushed back in, old breaker off, new brake rotor back on. Again, 6mm Allen here for this screw. You're going to want to clean your bracket up before you put everything back together. I'll show you how to do that. We're going to go over here into the grass because I don't want all this stuff on my driveway. You'll see this can get pretty nasty. All you're going to want to do is clean out these grooves where the pads ride in with a wire brush, just to give them a smooth area to ride in. Alright, as you can see, those look pretty clean. You're just removing the loose debris. They don't have to be spotless. And then when you're putting this back together, BMW actually doesn't recommend any lube on the back of the pads or where the pads slide. The pads that I took off didn't have any lube on them, so I'm not putting lube back on these pads. guys, and that's brake job complete. That's one side done. Just got to do the other side now. Really not that hard. Took me maybe 10 minutes to do the pads and rotors on this one side. Forgot to tell you in the beginning though, this clip right here, it snaps into this caliper. You actually pry against the rotor here like this, and it's a spring clip. So as you see, it like springs this way. It's supposed to help keep the caliper, the outside edge of the caliper, like pressed down against the bracket so that it doesn't flop around while you're driving and make noise. Just pry it off with a screwdriver, and then when you go to push it back in, you put this tab and this tab on the caliper bracket and push up until this thing snaps into place on the caliper, and then you'll hear it like click in, and there's little hooks in the backs of this clip here where it clips into these holes and gets locked into place. So again, this side's all done. Let's get the other side taken care of. Alright, got this side all put back together, guys. As you can see, it wasn't too difficult. It took me about 10-15 minutes to do this side. Clip back in, caps. There's caps on the back here on these where the screws are that hold the caliper to the bracket. They're just plugs that plug the hole up where the 7mm Allen is at. The only difference with this side from the other side is you have a brake pad wear sensor that runs across the top here and gets clipped into the pad. And also then out the other side where the plug connection is for it, runs across the top of this control arm, through the control arm to the underside of the control arm, and then it runs down the control arm to the body right here, and then runs back there to this box right here. And inside that box is the connection. So we're gonna get that taken out, and I'll show you what the plug connection looks like, just so you know what you're taking off. I also wanted to show you guys these clips that hold this cable to the control arm. Underneath this edge of it, if you just take like a flat blade screwdriver, or I have a hook pick here, you just pick up on it, you hear it click, it unsnapped. It'll snap back down, hear it click again, that means it's locked in place. Just unclip it. And you're gonna push the wire through. Then you're gonna come underneath here. There's another clip here. Undo the wire from there. A lot of times you can undo these clips by hand if you really needed to. That one I can't get by hand. There we go. And then back here, there's two tabs that lock this box closed. The bottom one's easy to get by hand, the other one's not so much because of how close it is to everything up here. So you can then use your hook pick again. Get that pulled out. Then you're going to pull this plug connection down, and on the side of this plug connection right here where my thumb is at, there's a tab that you have to push in. Push that tab in, and then sometimes these get stuck together. It's easier to do with two hands. Put this down. And got it pulled apart. As you can see, the plug only goes on one way. You can't screw things up. It's got like a pattern to it, and inside there is the other end of that pattern. This is the female side, this is the male side. So let's get that replaced. Alright, got it plugged back in. Like I said, it's pretty dummy proof. can't put it together the wrong way. You just kind of put this together and spin it till it pushes together the rest of the way. So you're gonna snap that back up in here. Make sure that your little grommets slid into the right slot in this box. There's like a cut in the grommet on the wire that fits in the box the right way to keep dust and debris from getting out. And as you can see, it really doesn't matter that much because the inside of this box is disgusting. Never seen it cause problems though, so not much to worry about there. And you're just gonna run your wire back through all your clips and clip them back down until they snap just like that. Move this up a little bit. If you look at this wire, there's like this relief area here where the pattern, see, it's got this like zigzag pattern to it, and then the pattern stops. There's this like low line relief area. That's the part that goes inside the clip, just so you guys know when you're running things to get things lined up properly. Clipped in. This clip is actually broken, just like that when I took it apart. And then on this side, see these two, like this little copper clip that's in the middle of it, and these two, like it's a shallow area, like a relieved area, that goes inside the slot on the pad. You're going to push it in till you hear it click like that, and you know it's secured down in there and it's not going to come out. That's it, guys. Brake job all done. All right, as you guys can see, brake job's pretty easy. Probably only took me about 30 minutes. Parts I got were actually Techstar brand pads and rotors. Techstar's the OE manufacturer for BMW, so good product. It shouldn't cause me any problems. I've used them plenty of times in the past with no issues. As you can see, I didn't use any grease on the pads. That's actually BMW's recommended. I've used grease and not used grease in the past, and it's never really made any difference. I've never had brakes wheels come back, especially using Techstar stuff. So, personal preference, if you feel like using grease on the pads, please do. If you don't want to or don't have the grease, that's fine. They're supposed to be used without grease anyways. So, appreciate you guys watching the video. If you could follow the channel, be plenty of good content here in the future. I know a lot of the videos lately have been kind of maintenance-based stuff and not really all that good. I promise you there's good content coming in the future. Got a project on the Mustang there. We'll be doing a little work on the headlights, so please look forward to that and like this video. Comment down below if you have any questions, and see you guys later.